Hey, what's up everybody? First and foremost, I just want to say I appreciate every single person that decided to tap into this message today. And if you are here, go ahead and like this video because you're going to get some value from it. Whether you're listening on your way to work, getting ready for your shift, whether you're sitting at home thinking about your future, or maybe you're just trying to figure out life out right now, or just figure out life in general right now, I want you to know something before we even get started, that financial freedom is closer than you think. And I know, so for some of you guys, for some of you people out there hearing this, it may sound impossible. It may sound like, Kyle, how are you telling me that and you don't even know me? Well, because maybe right now your life doesn't feel free. Maybe you're stressed financially. Maybe you're buried in bills. Maybe you're working overtime every single week just trying to stay above water. I get it. I've been there. I know people. I have clients that have been there. Or maybe you just got a retirement and you got some retirement coming one day, but deep down inside you're wondering if it'll actually be enough for you to retire on time. Or maybe you're making decent money right now, but it still somehow feel like you're still stuck, like you can't get out of this situation. Regardless of the fact, that's the reality of most people, of most hardworking people in our society today, right now. See, we live in a world where people can make six figures and still be financially suffocating, like living here in California. That's the scary part, because broke doesn't always look broke. And I'm sure some of you guys understand that. Sometimes broke can look like the nice Lambo with stress attached to it. It can be the retirement account that you can't touch because of IRS sanction codes or because you're just not old enough, or the overtime check you need just to maintain the lifestyle that you currently have. And people just typically tend to normalize it because everybody around them is living the exact same way. And we've normalized it nowadays. But today I need us to wake up. I need us to smell the coffee, and I need us to get a grip when it comes to us planning for our retirement or planning for the future. Because you were not created just to survive your entire life. You were not created to spend 30 years trading your time, trading your health, your energy, your peace, and your family moments that you will cherish for the rest of your life just to barely make it to retirement, hoping things will work out. You were meant for more than that. We were meant for more than that. And the reason financial freedom feels so far away from most people is because nobody ever taught us how financial freedom and how financial literacy actually works and what it actually is. See, most people think financial freedom means having a private jet or buying a Lamborghini or having expensive cars or having an expensive home and having a mansion, having millions of dollars. All this flashy stuff and flashy internet stuff, that's not what is financial freedom, and that's not what being financially literate is about. But financial freedom really starts much smaller than that. Financial freedom is peace. It's having a peace of mind. It's waking up not panicking every time you get a phone call or the phone rings. You're thinking about your kids, you're thinking about your finances, you're thinking about another bill collector. It's not stressing over emergencies. It's not depending on overtime just to be able to survive. It's having options for yourself and your family. It's having control. It's having breathing room when you need it. And once you understand that, everything changes for the better. See, I used to think that success was just about making more money. Okay, great. If I have $1 million in my banking account, I'll be all set. But eventually I realized more income without strategy still creates stress. It's crazy how it works, right? There are people making literally $50,000 but are still broke. There are people making $250,000 but are still broke. And there are people making less than both who have complete peace beyond the fact that they built the system around the life that they currently have and the life that they wanted to build for themselves and their families. And that's why financial literacy matters so much, because what keeps most people trapped isn't always a lack of income. It's a lack of awareness of their situation. See, nobody taught us how money works, how taxes work for that reason, or how debt works, how protection works when it comes to your assets, how retirement really works when you decide to retire at age 65 or older, how inflation is actually destroying purchasing power for most millennials, how to make our money efficient, how to build liquidity when we need it, how to protect income, how to create cash flow for ourselves when we need it. Most people were simply taught, you get a job, you work hard on that job, you put that money into retirement, and hopefully everything works out. But what happens when life doesn't work out or goes according to plan? What happens when somebody gets injured? What happens when inflation rises? What happens when taxes actually go up? What happens when The pension isn't enough for you to actually retire, and you're betting on your pension to be able to live the lifestyle that you chose to live or that you're currently living. What happens when you can't physically work anymore? That's the real reality that we have to really consider and think about. And listen, by no chance, by no fault is this meant to be fear talk for you. This is awareness, because awareness creates action, and action changes lives. See, one of the biggest things I had to learn personally, and especially being a father, being a husband, being a provider, was that your income only will never make you wealthy. It won't, by itself, will never make you wealthy. Your habits will, your systems will, your discipline will, your mindset will, your financial strategy will, the strategies that you have in place, because money without direction disappears. If you don't know which direction you're going in with your money, how are you going to ever achieve it, or how are you going to ever save it or keep it? And that's why so many hardworking families still feel stuck even after years of sacrifice. I remember like it was yesterday, I remember seeing people work insane amounts of overtime in my profession as a police officer, thinking that was the answer. Yeah, you're making $300,000 a year, but where's it going? And overtime can be helpful, absolutely. But overtime is not a wealth strategy. And at some point, your money has to start working too. It just can't be you doing all the hard work. Your money got to be working for you too. And at some point, you have to stop building everybody else's future while neglecting your own. And here's the crazy part that most people don't understand. Most people are actually much closer to financial freedom than they actually realize. They are. They just need structure. They need awareness. They need somebody who can actually show them where the leaks are in their boat. Because sometimes financial freedom isn't just about making an extra $1 million overnight or being a multi-millionaire overnight. Sometimes it starts with eliminating necessary debt, creating protection for you and your family, or building liquidity, controlling taxes if you have the possibility to, creating better habits for yourself, having a real retirement strategy that you can actually be happy about, learning how money actually works and how money moves. Small adjustments equals massive long-term impact. That's how wealthy people build real success. That's how wealth is really built. And another thing people don't realize is that your greatest wealth building tool is time. Yes, I said it, it's time. And we don't have a lot of it. Not timing, not luck, not perfect conditions, because those things may come and go, but it's time. The earlier you learn how to redirect your money properly, the more powerful your future becomes. And unfortunately, most people wait until pain forces them to pay attention. Whether that be pain of losing a family member, a spouse, a child, losing your job, being in a horrific circumstance financially and you can't get out of it. That's just human nature, and these things happen. But we have to understand, people ignore the leak until the house floods. But I'm challenging you, yes, the person that's listening to this, wake up before the crisis hits you and your family. Because the goal isn't surviving emergencies. The goal is building a life where emergencies don't destroy you or your dependence financially. That's what I call real financial freedom. And listen, I know some people feel behind right now. I get it. Some people feel behind right now. Shoot, I feel behind right now, and I make pretty good money in the profession that I do. Maybe you're listening thinking, Kyle, I should have started earlier. I should have saved earlier. I should have invested earlier. I made financial mistakes. I wasted my good years. I wasted a lot of money, or I just wasn't around the right people, or I don't even know if I even have enough. Let me tell you something. Listen here and listen very clearly. Most wealthy people didn't start wealthy. I'll say that again. Most wealthy people didn't start wealthy. Most financially free people were because they seen too many good people have it hard and work their butts off and have little freedom to do with the success that they had in their job. And I believe people deserve better than that. I believe first responders deserve to be financially free and have less financial stress. Even successful people were once confused. Let that sink in. And the difference is, at some point they decided to change that direction. That's it. That's all they did. They changed the direction in terms of where their financial situation was going. And they said, you know what? I got to make a massive immediate action change in my life. And that decision changes everything, because your future can change fast once your mindset changes. One conversation can change your life. One strategy can change your trajectory. One disciplined year can literally completely alter your family's bloodline. That's why I'm so passionate about this message I'm dropping on y'all right now, because you We deserve to have better. Working class families deserve better. First responders, as I said before, deserve better. Entrepreneurs like you listen to this deserve better when it comes to financial planning. Parents like me and my wife and like you, probably with your children, definitely deserve better. Because people deserve to understand how money actually works. We are doing them a disservice. I know myself as a licensed financial professional, it is always my objective first to teach first and provide service second. Because once people become financially aware, here's what happens. They stop moving emotionally. They stop making panic decisions and start actually thinking outside the box. They stop living paycheck to paycheck and having a paycheck to paycheck mentality. They stop believing they're trapped forever, and they begin building intentionally. They begin making the right choices. They begin indulging in the right habits. And that's the shift I'm talking about. See, financial freedom doesn't happen accidentally. It doesn't. You have to become deliberate about what it is that you want from the situation. Deliberate in your spending, deliberate in your habits, deliberate in your planning, deliberate with your protection, deliberate with your future. And I think that's where many people lose hope, because they feel like there's no sight in mind for me to be able to get out of this situation and where I'm at right now. Because they think freedom requires perfection, and it doesn't. But it does require consistency. That's it. It requires you being consistent in how you're learning new tools, new products, new services, right? Consistent in your discipline, consistent in improvement, consistent in action that you're taking every single day to get the result. You can't get something for nothing. I'll say that again. You can't get something for nothing. Small steps done repeatedly create massive transformation in your life and in your family's life as a byproduct. That's how you change your life. And I need people to understand something deeply. You do not have to have everything figured out today. You don't. That's why you have people like myself who are financial professionals, who are financial advisors, who can help you and coach you through this situation. You just need to start moving. You just need to start doing the action steps to get you there. Start asking the right question. Start becoming aware of your circumstances. Start learning. Start reviewing your situation honestly by identifying the financial gaps in your situation. Because the moment awareness enters your life can never go backwards mentally. That's why education is so powerful. That's why I push for my kids to understand how money works. And that's why movement like this matters. Movements like what we're building with Wealth Beyond the Badge matters, because we're trying to create a culture shift. A shift from survival to strategy. A shift from stress to structure. A shift from working forever to building freedom intentionally. And listen, I want y'all to understand this. Freedom looks different for everybody. I know for me, freedom looks having no debt, being able to travel with my family, and building core memories. For some people, freedom means more family time. Like myself, more peace, more travel, more options, less stress. Stress is what kills a lot of people. Owning your time, helping your kids, taking care of your parents, your sickly parents, leaving a legacy. But no matter what the version of your freedom really looks like and what you want, it starts with awareness and action. And today I want people to understand something very clearly. You are not stuck forever. I promise you, you are not stuck forever. Your current situation is not your financial destination. Your banking account today does not define your future and what you can have in your bank in the future. Your mistakes do not define your future. Your setbacks do not define your future. But your decisions moving forward absolutely will. And if you can learn how to protect your income, how to control your money properly, how to create systems that are going to allow your money to have compounded interest, how to reduce financial leaks within your financial boat, how to build long-term strategies, and stay disciplined the whole time, you will be shocked how fast your life can begin changing effective immediately. Because financial freedom is not just some fantasy reserved for rich people only. No! If that was the case, there will only be a select few of wealthy people. It's a process. It's a mentality process. It's a process of becoming more aware, more intentional, more disciplined, and more educated when it comes to specific products and services that can help elevate your life. You being more prepared is ideal. That's it. And once people understand that, they stop feeling powerless, meaning that they don't have no dominion over their life, and they start actually taking action for themselves. So if you take anything from this message today, take this. You are closer than you think. Closer to peace, closer to freedom, closer to clarity, closer to control of your life, closer to control of your financial situation, closer to building the life your family deserves. But here's what you gotta do. You have to just start. And the beautiful thing about starting is you don't have to become a perfect person overnight or become this financial guru overnight. No, you don't. You just have to commit to becoming a better version of yourself, to becoming a better provider, to becoming a better listener, to becoming a better person of habit, a better version of yourself. One decision at a time, one strategy at a time, one disciplined action at a time. That's how legacies are built. That's how family generations change forever. That's how ordinary people create extraordinary lives. Now, I appreciate y'all. Go dominate your day. Do great, be great, and remember, financial freedom is closer than you think. Because it's always a good time to get wealthy, y'all. Peace.